Yo, what up, everybody? It's Orange Bloods Live. I'm Jeff Ketchum. That is Chad Hastings. We're talking injuries and Brian Jones joining us to talk some college football. It's just that kind of day. Do us a solid. Hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel as we go for 150,000. It's
damn.
Fire off that confetti again. That was fun yesterday. As we passed 140, and there it is. Hey, man, there's nothing wrong when you pass these big milestones. We do appreciate all.
you told me to be fair about the distribution.
Yeah,
so I
like that. The distribution was even-er anyway on that deal.
Yeah.
Jump into the Specs chat it up, send us some super chats. Going to be a fun show today. Talking injuries. You know, I didn't talk to Anwar yesterday, Chad. And Steve Sarkisian just finished off his Thursday media briefing where he talks a little bit of injuries. I did not talk to Anwar before he posted Wednesday night injury updates. Don't panic.
Right.
I don't know how everybody else reacted when they saw that. I panicked.
You did? You didn't listen? Anwar told you not to panic and you panicked?
When people tell me not to panic, that's usually because they know I'm about to panic.
Is that like when your wife walks in and the first thing out of her mouth is, okay, don't freak out. And you're thinking, all right, well, I'm going to freak out. Now I'm going to freak out.
I mean, so a lot of this was confirmed today by Steve Sarkisian, but DeAndre Moore, Alex January, Jack Injuries, Trey Wisner, Emmett Mosley. Ha ha!
Oh, good job. Well done.
All of them expected to almost certainly not play this weekend.
Good job. That you deserve all that. Good job. Emmett Mosley. Well done. You didn't even have to do your weird little name thing. Good job.
I just hope that Emmanuel Sanders has somebody out there that lets him know, dude, there's a guy in Austin, Texas that's obsessed with you.
He might be your stalker.
But all those guys, other than January, it's a lot of skill position guys, right? It's depending on how you think of DeAndre Moore, either wide receiver 1 or wide receiver 2 coming into the season. We know that Emmett Mosley was going to be wide receiver 3 or wide receiver 4, but certainly in that rotational mix. Jack Injuries, kind of an important piece of the puzzle. They need all of it. You're trying to get your offense to kind of click on all cylinders. Trey Wisner's RB1. And I got to be honest, of all of the injuries, first of all, hey, pat on the back. I called that DeAndre Moore injury.
Yeah.
As it happened, I feel like I was the only one on the planet.
Yeah. If you'd have let me talk sooner, I was going to give you credit, but now you're just giving yourself credit. So it looks a little worse. But yes, you were the one as we watched the game as he comes off, because when you saw him come off the field, it looked like, wait, did he get hit in the head?
Well, we saw that after.
Yeah. And then, but you saw, because I hadn't been watching when the play happened, you saw it live, at game speed, that he got hit in the head.
When they showed the replay, I was like, I think he got ear hold. I was like, watch what it was very quick, but he caught a fist to the ear, and then that hand went right off of it. So it wasn't, it was quick, but I was convinced that DeAndre Moore was out cold as he hit the ground, which is why he hit so hard on his shoulder, because his entire body goes limp and then crashes. And then, they show him coming off the field, and he's just kind of completely discombobulated. And it looked like, well, was he favoring his shoulder? And we had the conversation. I was like, I think that dude got concussed. And
yeah, it was rough. And I'll still say it was retaliation for the Anthony Hill play. They are I've seen it in multiple games rewatching too. They're letting defenders take full-on headshots at guys if they are carrying the ball, and then somehow catch. The officials just say, well, he didn't intend to do it. So I'm just letting everybody know your offensive players are going to get cracked in the head because the officials are not calling that.
I'm not blaming Anthony Hill at all.
No.
But the timing of that it is what it is. Like, we wouldn't even be telling the story.
Right. And And he did go to the sideline and start throwing the punches to show his guys what he did, and they put that on television.
That's the thing that when we saw it, we went,
yeah,
ugh. Like, I don't know that that's a good look, right?
That's what's
tough. It was like a drive or two later where, again, I'm not saying it's Anthony Hill's fault. This could have just been an accident, and sometimes the universe is funny with the timing of things. But DeAndre Moore got earholed moments after Anthony Hill had been on television, kind of celebrating. I don't even know how to properly. He was enjoying. That's fair, right?
Right. I think that was it. Yeah, just a little extra. He was putting a little extra on top of it. He was
enjoying showing people what he did.
Yeah.
And all I can tell you is it was a little icky in real time. Like, dude, you hit that dude in the head. Like, don't.
And it was two different kinds of hits. Hill's ended up being like across the face mask, like just a right across, and it jerked the head. But like you said, with DeAndre, it really was like right to the ear hole. And
right in the ear hole.
It was hard to see it. The head didn't really move near as much as the Anthony Hill one. And
it looks like a way much more of a glancing blow.
Right.
Than the Anthony Hill looks like he punched.
Yeah. Because the
ball, you know what I mean? Like
that head jerk, like you see in a fight.
And Anthony Hill showed us what he did. He was like, this is what I did, right?
Yeah.
This was so quick. You almost have to be looking for it to see it. But yeah. I saw it bang, bang when it happened. And then when you know what you're looking for, it's just like I was talking to Anwar about this earlier today. I've seen guys get hit with shots before in fights.
Yeah.
And you're like, how the hell did they get up from that? And then I've seen guys get punched before, and it's like, oh, I guess that's where the on and off button are, right? Like everybody's got one, and
it can be different it can be in different places for each person.
I can't say it looked like such a glancing blow that's hard for me to. I'm just telling you, the timing was spooky,
right?
But it was it got him right in the ear hole, and I'm telling you, if you go back and look for it, you can see more his body in mid motion just kind of sink. He's out, and so. He's out, I would guess, this week. They should.
Yeah, in terms of pass catchers here, here are the numbers, Catch. There are 4 guys that have caught 6 balls for Texas, not named CJ Baxter. He's the leading receiver with 7. 4 guys have caught 6, and 2 of them may not play this week. Yeah. More and injuries. So for me, Catch, if there has ever been something that would make Steve Sarkisian go to number 1, Ryan Wingo, and say, hey, you're my guy. This week we got to show him you're my guy. Like, if the Ryan Wingo thing, if that fire doesn't ignite this week, Catch, I'd be really concerned if I'm a Texas fan.
Well, the trickle-down effect of losing, at least in this game, 2 of your projected top 4 wide receivers and your starting tight end, the thing that kind of bothers me, look, there's no danger of losing to UTEP. I don't know that I would be taking Texas minus the points. I may change my official prediction that I gave today on the Prize Pick show, given that all of this is happening. Next week's game is a nothing burger. Like it's Sam Houston, right? So like it just this feels like the Super Bowl compared to that. And then you have the bye week. I really want to see Texas put together an emphatic, overall complete performance. Kind of what Ohio State and Texas weren't that different a week ago. One team was 1-0. The other team was 0-1. But both of those teams came out of that game impressive but flawed at the same time. So Ohio State was like, well, we're now number 1 in the country, and that's a big win. But how good is our offensive line? And what about our running game? And what do? They come out the next week. They destroy Grambling. And everybody's like, oh, Ohio State's good. I'd like to see Texas do that, and not against Sam Houston. I'd like to see them do that against a team that is respectable enough that you can feel good about what you've done, and they run out of opportunities to build chemistry to get Arch in rhythm with guys that they're going to need in Gainesville. The timing of this is not the kind of thing that's going to impact the game this weekend in the one-loss margin or anything, but the timing's poor in terms of what do they really need this weekend? They need this offense to kind of find it on all cylinders. And now they're going to have to do it with the tight end 2, running back 2, wide receiver 1 and 4. I don't know. Like, it's a combination of pieces that you would imagine when they go to Gainesville, they won't automatically be the guys in play. So it's a little bit of a wasted bullet in the chamber. However, it's a phenomenal opportunity for every single guy at all of those positions. We know this is a young player's game, Chad, that Dalen McCutcheon was already going to play a lot. That this might be a game where we see some Khalil Lockett or we see any of those freshman wide receivers. Same thing at the tight end position. Same thing at the running back position. I think the story of this game is going to be, is there a guy or two that climbs the summit and is a buzzword for us on Monday? Holy crap, Khalil Lockett went for 7 and 184. And like, who saw that coming? And now he has to be a factor, right? Do we get a couple of those? Because the platform will be there for somebody to plant a flag and say, put me in Gainesville, coach. Or will we show up on Monday and roughly what we know about the offense on Monday is what we know about it today on Thursday, which I think would feel real problematic going to the rest of the season. Like, if we come out of this and it's like, oh, still don't know about the run game. Like, shouldn't we be buying fool's gold after Saturday? Shouldn't we just be like, running game's fixed. 284 on 15 carries. They were awesome. Beating OU by 40. There should be, like, there's got to be one of those moments, and it can't be Sam Houston State.
Oscar, I see your panic super chat, and we will get right to it and tell you to calm the F down right after I tell you where we're watching the game on Saturday. 3:15 kick for Texas and UTEP. Sleep in, then get to TCH Social Austin. We're going to fire up that massive screen, biggest screen in Austin, to watch the game, then pile on in at the 2-minute warning. We'll get it cranked up on the YouTube channel. Shout out to Adam Lowy and the Lowy Law Firm for sponsoring the post-game show. And remember, all week as you get ready for the game, play some online poker in the great state of Texas. Got to be in Texas to do it. Chris Bennett, sorry, can't do it in Washington State. You in the state of Texas, put it on your phones and devices and get to playing hijack poker. All right, I was going to try to summarize what the chat was doing, and then Oscar did it for us. Oscar, thank you. Here's a summary, $4.99. All right, fellas, it was fun for a few weeks, but the season's over. Let's get to BJ and pack it up till 2026.
Oscar!
Oscar. BJ obviously refers to Brian Jones of CBS Sports. He's coming up in about 16, 17 minutes, something like that. Looking forward to talking to Brian, Oscar, and the chat. Freaking out a bit today. A little overreaction to process the feelings.
The good news is, man, none of this stuff is long-term, Chad. Like, I think the one that worries me the most is Trey Wisner. Had somebody, this is unconfirmed, but kind of confirmed, but unconfirmed, but kind of confirmed. Sounds like it might be a hamstring. Now, let's imagine, and it sounds like something that probably happened last week in practice. Let's imagine it's the slightest little baby. It's a baby hammy, right? On a 1 to 10 scale of you hurt your hammies, it's a 0.5. That's still a month, right? There are no hamstring injuries that I have heard of in 2025 in football where guys come back in relatively less than a month. Like, that is 4 to 6.
Yeah.
Because it's the injury that it's like, don't you dare trigger it, right? It's like when you come back from a hamstring, it's like, if you're going to rob Terry Benedict, you better know. And when you come back from a hamstring, the one thing they always say is, be careful enough with it that you don't aggravate it, because if you aggravate it, you're starting back at 0, and now a month is 10 weeks and the whole season's gone, right? Well, Wisner misses let's say technically like this week right now is a week. It's going to put him like another 3 weeks. If he has the most baby hammy possible, well, that means that takes you into Florida and Oklahoma.
Well, this is, I mean, you just said it. If this was Florida week, would Wisner play?
I don't think so. Based on, I have not had anybody say if this was OU week or Florida week, would he play? I just had somebody say it sounds like Wisner's deal is a hammy.
Because that's when concern would begin for me. We're still a couple weeks away. You got 2 games plus an off week. When Florida's coming up, when Oklahoma's coming up, that's when I'd start to have the concerns about these injuries.
If I say high ankle sprain, what do you think?
If you say high ankle sprain, definite concern.
But like your immediate best case is like, I don't expect that guy to be himself.
Best case is he gives it a go, but he's nowhere near himself.
And it takes how long before?
At least a month.
Exactly. And
I
think,
like you said, if it's one of those that's, not like a Deion Sanders kind of high ankle sprain.
You see it a lot in soccer. The moment that guy reaches back, you're just like, that's a month. That's a month.
Yeah.
And it's never not been a month. And the one thing that you would say that's kind of the crossover for all sports, it's the same thing. There's got to be a point when your Pistons have to be firing and you can't simulate what it means to fire at you know what I mean? Like the speed of a game, everything's a little different, and you have to know. I'm just telling you, I'm a little bit put off by the Wisner buzz. The ones I've heard, nothing sounds more problematic than the word hamstring being mentioned.
Okay.
With Wisner, just because the moment I hear ham, it might as well not even be called hamstring. It ought to be called ham 4 to 6.
Ham 4 to 6. Yeah. And to be clear, Steve Sarkisian has not clarified his injury, correct?
No.
Right. Okay. And
I'm telling you, I don't even know if I had the liberty to say that. I'm just telling you. I hear things sometimes.
Yeah.
And I partake in the rogue shop.
Yeah, I got
you. It's like, did that come from an email? Because you saw what we had in Truths and Lies today, right?
I did. I loved it.
Like I just get stuff ends up in front of me. But yeah. I do. I again, no reports, but it does sound like that's what we need to keep an eye on with regards to Wisner.
Yeah. Just by the way, on the conspiracy theory front, go back and read that email you're talking about again, because I think you and a lot of people slightly misread it.
You think the one day?
There you go. Yeah. Just saying.
Dude, so for those that you can I read it real quick?
Oh, please do. Oh, please. You brought it up. Please do.
So those of you that aren't on Orange Bloods, we have a column that's once a week that we call Truths and Lies. Mm-hmm. And the whole purpose of it is sometimes we like everybody else, we will hear rumors, but you don't really publicize rumors. You're supposed to weed them out, but sometimes rumors take on a life of their own. So we created this column where we can just talk about if there's a wild or crazy rumor out there, bring it on.
This guy.
We'll answer it, right? Yeah. So I got an email on Monday, completely random, and it says, quote, and look, we'll see if Chad's right. You guys pay attention. See if I would say this. Don't hear me. Listen to me.
It's tough to do.
Hey, Catch. I'm sure you have heard the rumor that a specific QB took a nice spill while riding a Lime scooter leaving the Fiji house one night before OSU game. Or at least that is what's been circulating around the Greek circle.
Greek life?
Now,
shout out to the frats.
I originally read that as one night before the game.
Mm-hmm.
But it could be read as one night could be any one night before.
That's how when I read it, I interpreted, no. It could have happened at night on a day that occurred before that game occurred.
Look, what I said was one night before the OSU game, he was in Columbus.
Exactly.
But the thing that I would say, and I will lean on this because I feel like I can find photographic evidence. Everyone watching this goddamn video knows somebody who's been on one of these scooters and taken a spill. Everybody does. It's an epidemic, like bad tackling. Mm-hmm. That's one for the kids.
Can't do it. Nobody can tackle. Nobody can tackle.
I love it when I make myself laugh.
Watch TV. No one can tackle.
If Arch had been in let's just say a week from, okay? Mm-hmm. My expectation is if he'd been involved in a scooter accident, he'd just look like he got beat up by a tank. I've never seen anybody who was involved in a scooter accident that hurt themselves football-wise, but didn't break a jaw, break an eye socket, looked like that went 4 rounds with Tyson in his prime, weren't in a cast, didn't have a neck brace on. Like, you're better off getting hit by that boulder that Miley Cyrus is swinging on in Wrecking Ball than to get involved in a scooter accident. So what I would just say is Arch didn't miss any of his media availabilities. There was no visible scratches on Arch that I have ever seen. And I'm just telling you, I know people. We all do. Those scooter accidents. We saw a Texas player like lose an entire season because of a scooter accident.
Mm-hmm.
Like
that was a running back, right? Is that a running back? Running back?
No. Baseball.
No. Oh, right. Yep. Sorry. Yes.
So I think this is going to replace, this is the new modern day. Did you hear that Vince Young broke his hand at a bar the night before the OU game?
Right.
That happened. I think that was before 2003.
Okay.
And like, it is the poster child for like, what's a bad Texas rumor? The thing is there any chance there's 8% truth?
Yeah. I mean, I would say yes. If you're looking for an excuse, if you're looking for something to help explain what we've seen, I think that would make total sense. Something is up. Something happened, and it looked weird against Columbus. It looked less weird in the second game. I know the opponent was different, but then with Sark's sensitive reaction to the question, Catch, if that media member fires back at Sark, yeah, Arch told us what happened. What does Sark do?
I don't know.
Right? He might have had to do this. I don't know.
To me, this sounds like in Trading Places when Eddie Murphy's like, Karate Man bleed on the inside. That's what you're telling me. The Arch bleeds on the inside because he would have been hurt enough that it would impact his football playing ability.
You're also interpreting every single scooter accident is the same and produces the same outward injuries. That's not true.
Dude, I ain't never seen a scooter accident that didn't mangle faces.
Okay, well, I've never seen a quarterback like Arch Manning. Ha!
But I have a larger sample size than you do.
He's special, bro. He's wearing those shorts. He's full of Red Bull, and he's got those glasses to make sure he doesn't scratch his face.
Look, anyway.
Boom! All right, we'll move on.
It's been a day is all I'm saying. It's been a day.
We'll move on. Brian Jones is coming up in just a couple minutes from CBS Sports. Can't wait to talk to him. Also, let's tell you about AV Consultations. If you are missing these injuries we're talking about on the screen, if you're missing something during games, get a better setup. Get a bigger screen. Make that quad box look even better on Saturdays and Sundays with AV consultations. 255-8678. They've been doing it since 1988. They'll make sure you get the setup you've always wanted, the family movie room that you have always dreamed of. They'll get you set up. Plus, they deal with a lot of other stuff, security systems, indoor, outdoor lighting, all kinds of things they can do for you. Check out avconsultations.com or call them at 255-8678. Be sure to tell them you heard about it here on Orange Bloods Live. We got Brian coming up here in just a couple. As I mentioned, let me scan for super chats. I don't see super chats right now. So, Catches, you're talking about receivers and tight ends. I think the receiver answer is fairly simple because Parker Livingston's been Parker Livingston. We know what Ryan Wingo can do, and they're going to go to Wingo. Talk to me about tight end a second. Like, Winston had the play last week. We know that they both had a catch. Winston and Washington each had a catch this season. So for you, how do you think, and then obviously, and Shannon's a part of that too. How do you think Sark attacks tight end, assuming 88's not going to go and he's going to rest him?
I mean, probably Jordan Washington is first in line of the I think they're going to have to figure it out on the fly. That, when you have two guys that aren't proven really at all. I mean, what we really have of both guys is that last week, late in the game, both made catches. But beyond that, neither have really been we're going to just be in a situation where I think this thing gets decided on Saturday. It'll be interesting. I think Washington gets the first opportunity to put a marker down, but it was a little bit like left guard last week. At some point, okay, young guy, the old guy, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah. It hasn't felt like there's one guy other than injuries for sure.
Yeah.
They're still trying to figure that out.
Well, this is what it would look like had they not signed injuries. And this is why he was so important.
That's true.
Because we were like, who the hell plays? Who's any good? And the signing of injuries, the transfer, eliminated the who plays part, but all it took was an injury, 2 injuries, and now we're back in the indecision phase of what they have at the tight end position. They like their young talent, but it's unproven. It's raw. We'll know more after this weekend, and I think that will be the one position, though, they'll feel like, because it doesn't sound like injuries is bad. So it's one of those, if you get him to Florida, they're probably okay there.
Yeah.
I feel less certain about the running game and the receivers. But Injuries is an older guy, and he has come in and kind of pretty seamlessly fit in with what they want to do. It does not look like he showed up in June. It looks like he's been here for a while. And so I maybe give him a little bit more benefit of the doubt, a little bit more proven on paper. Whereas these other guys, when they score, it'll be their first touchdown. And they're just a week removed from, hey, that's the first time he's ever caught a pass in a game. So, first time he's ever caught a pass from Arch in a game. Those are all news and first that position is going to have to work its way through.
Yeah, Brian Jones is ready to go. Real quick before we talk to Brian, let's get this $9.99 super chat in from Oscar. I've seen and been a drunk student in a Lime scooter incident. Not all are as bad as you think. Drunk college kids can handle it better than middle-aged people, unfortunately. No hate, all love.
I didn't say I've been in an accident.
Over on campus. I'm just saying, it's a little different.
I don't get on those things, Chad. You couldn't pay me.
No.
I would not make it a block.
No. I'm with you. I would absolutely tear myself up. This next guy might
Oscar be talking. Don't be taking shots at old people.
Yeah.
Old people know to stay off those things.
That's right. Speaking of old people, we're going to bring somebody on the show that's got more gray hair than we do. That's Brian Jones of CBS Sports. There he is in all.
What you do to my background?
I didn't do a thing. I see a brick wall. You're doing that.
Jail?
That's not
What's
me.
going on?
What happened? I don't know how that happened.
What you're saying? I did it.
Fire too.
I didn't do that.
Uh-huh.
It looks like his head's on fire.
It really.
I agree.
It really kind
What's
of
up
does.
with that?
Look at Michael Jackson Pepsi commercial back in the day.
Brian, all I can do, all we can do, we can turn your mic on and off. I can't mess with backgrounds, man. I can't do that.
What the fudge is that?
You
Oh
do-
my goodness.
That looks like a boys reformatory or something. Oh, he's gone. He just went Harry Potter on us.
And now,
I am. Oh, I think I see what happened.
are you a wizard, Brian? What just
I
happened?
don't. We're playing cribbage.
He's gonna have a bird fly out of his
Not
sweatshirt here in a
cribbage,
second.
Brian. Quidditch. Quidditch.
What is it?
Quidditch.
See, that's why I need you, Chad. You know I'm gonna butcher something.
That's the joke you were trying to make. You just cribbage. I think it's like an old person card game.
Listen, I'm mad at both of y'all. The first week I was on here, I was trying to say Billy Ray Valentine, and I said Reggie Valentine or something. Y'all just let it go. I was quoting Trading Places and screwing
I
it
just
up.
quoted Trading Places.
That's true. Catch just did it. Real quick, let's get.
Oh, did you?
Brian's
Which
full
quote
screen.
did you use?
I said,
Which quote?
Karate Man bleed on the inside.
Love that.
Because they're trying to say the Arch Manning fell.
Oh, dude, that's
got
new
hurt,
highs when I would
but there
go
are
to
no
that.
visible scratches. He just has internal injuries. And I was like, come on, man. That's like Eddie Murphy. Karate Man bleed on the inside.
Wow.
All right, real quick. Let's remind everybody you can see Brian in all of his glory.
He looks good there.
At the co-op. Go to the co-op and get this stuff, or search Real Snow Milk at University Co-op. And Catch, you missed this last week, but we played Who Wore It Better between Brian and his son, and I'm going with the kid. What do you think?
I'm going with Dad.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you.
Oh,
look, those photos with young man look legitimate. Brian looks so good in those photos, I'm convinced that there's got to be a filter. Is that even you? Is that like a Snapchat filter photo where like your head is on superimposed on a 19-year-old? It looks good, BJ.
No, sir. Thank you, sir. That's that hot yoga, baby. Those Pilates. That's what that is. Trying to stave off Father Time.
All right, Brian, what's your what's your mindset going into this week, whether it's Longhorns or anything? What's on your mind in college football?
I'm not worried about the Longhorns. Did what they were supposed to do last week versus a lesser opponent. Same should happen this week. I know UTEP is feeling good about themselves with Malachi Nelson, who's now at his third school, USC, Boise, and his father home there at UTEP. But Texas go out and handle their business. It's defense flying around, making plays, still some room for improvement for those guys. On that side, need more consistent pressure. Got some sacks, got some TFLs in the second ball game. Forced 4 turnovers as well. Offensively, that's the arch I expected. And just going back to Ohio State, I didn't expect him to throw for 3 or 4 touchdowns and 300 yards. But I expected him to be able to execute the rudiments of the game. A little swing pass or pass in the flat, which he couldn't. And last week, as I said, inauspicious start, first couple of drives, but they got right. And he was making plays. And moreover, his legs got involved. That's what I wanted to see. And I keep hearing these folks. Heard a guy this morning on national radio talk discussing Bryce Underwood and what he did or did not do versus OU. And you can't put too much on these quarterbacks. These young quarterbacks were getting their first start. These guys have grown up in the zone read RPO era. They know that like the back of their hands, just like I knew playing box linebacker and playing against the wishbone or playing the ISO and I-backs. That was rudimentary football, base football. RPOs is base football to these newfangled quarterbacks. So employing that for a young quarterback on the road, it's not far-fetched. So I don't get this discussion about, oh, you can't give them too much. That's not asking a lot. Put them in a natural element. Call a damn zone read. Call a RPO. Give him some options. And especially when they're talented and athletic as Archie is and numerous quarterbacks are. So good to see that and build off of that. This offensive line has a ways to go, guys. some holes, man. You watch that film, they've got a ways to go, and it usually takes the big boys up front a lot longer than other positions. So good that they have, UTEP. Don't look past them. Go put the work in and continue to get better. Same with, next week's foe, and then a bye, and you know who's coming, where you're headed after that. So good work. Continue to just progress and get better. That's the key. And don't look past your opponent.
Brian, it may be that you just answered this question, but I still want to ask it anyway, because it might be the offensive line. But this whole month has been the month of September is kind of being sold as this is to handle your business, get your team ready for October month. That these games, it's about playing to a bar. It's about raising your levels, all of these things. So as this team at every single position is trying to grow and get to a place where in October it's ready to play real games, the area for you that needs the most amount of improvement between September 11th and October, pick a date, is what? Yeah.
Offensive line. And you have to eliminate the penalties. I mean, the first play of the game, that was a big play. And there was a penalty. It brought that back. Am I right? Yes. On Livingston.
Yep.
Holding out on the perimeter. You have to eliminate the penalties. We'll probably talk about Georgia and LSU in a second. LSU Florida, first ball game, 0 penalties. Last week versus USF, 11 penalties. You have to cut out those mistakes, especially in big ball games. What bit them versus Ohio State? 6 penalties. 2 on that initial scoring drive. 1 took a safety off the board. You can't do that, man. You can get away with it versus a San Jose State, maybe a UTEP, maybe a Sam Houston. You're not going to get away with it in the swamp. You're not going to get away with it in the horseshoe. So you have to eliminate that, man. You got to play clean ball. Can't turn the rock over. But the biggest issue for me is now the offensive line. I got to see those guys continue to congeal. And our head coach is saying that he wants to be a physical running football team. All right, that starts with those guys up front. The backs can do it. They can handle the workload. But you got to create some holes, create some creases for them to hit. And some receivers. I need some more receivers to jump up. Now, there were drops in last week's ball game. Livingston seems to be the go-to guy now for Arch, and I understand it. The guy's showing up and showing out first 2 ball games, so good for him. And some other guys stepped up. Who's that? 81. Is that the Townsend kid, the young one? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
tight end. Oh my goodness. Woo! He likes to block. I mean, watching the film, dude, he'll get in your grill. So I'd love to see the physicality coming from him. Hopefully that's infectious, and you get it. It permeates through that locker room and that offensive line. But yeah, I mean, just looking at my notes, I didn't have too many negatives. Arch looked good. There were some drop passes. Speaking of 81, he dropped a pass. But the holding penalty on the first play, that was about it. 0 more. He had a drop pass. You just got to be more consistent. Cut out the penalties. Cut out the drop passes. Offensive line, open up some holes. And, same for the defense. A few missed tackles, but other than that, I thought they played well.
Just on the penalty front, it's kind of cliche when a team has a bunch of penalties to say that's when it feels like media types do. This is when we go, they say a team is a reflection of their head coach. And it's like you just jab the head coach by essentially blaming them for the lack of discipline in the team. I'm just curious, as a guy that played forever and a guy that was in the league forever, and like you view this, if you just hear sight unseen 12 a team has 12 penalties, your football brain tells you what? Like who's it?
They're not disciplined. They're not. That does fall back on the coach. That's because you got to browbeat them in practice and everything they do. It's all about details. What was that? Was that the bailiff? I'm almost done.
Sorry, that was me.
I'm almost done.
Something fell behind me in the hall of helmet. I'm sorry. My bad. That was me.
Texas Department of Criminal Justice background going on here. I thought
they're coming, Brian.
Okay.
5 more minutes, Warden. 5 more minutes.
I'm in the wall unit at Huntsville. Don't ask me why I know that. Anyway, that goes back to the attention to detail. And yes, that starts with the coach. You impress, you impart upon your team. Everything counts. Little details count. Every little thing we do. If we pay attention to the small stuff, the big things will take care of itself. And it's a cliche catch because it's true. And the coach has to demand that of his team. And you've got to understand that. Now, every now and then, if you're overmatched, then a guy can get you out of whack and force you to grab or something of that nature. But you got to find a way to clean that up and eliminate those things, because in the big ball games, they're going to bite you, man. You cannot do that. So yeah, cliches, we say them because they are true and they sound mundane and they're boring and monotonous. Well, this game is boring and monotonous when you drill down to the trenches, because that's where it all begins and ends, blocking and tackling. Be all fancy, as I've said numerous times, but if you can't block, you can't tackle, and you can't be disciplined and not make penalties and not commit penalties, you're going to be in trouble. So yeah, it's a cliche because it's true. So coach has to focus on it. Hell, make them run steps or something. I don't know if they still do
Syracuse
that.
Coach did. Make them run after a win.
Yeah. Oh, I love that, Fran Brown. That was great. Wasn't that great? We run it right now after the game. On the line. On the hop, as we say.
Brian Jones, CBS Sports, joining us from a prison.
Coming to you from Cell Block.
That's right. Brian's joining us from a prison cell in the Matrix this week. It's a very complex place. Brian, you referenced Georgia and LSU. Let me ask it this way: Georgia goes to.
Well, I screwed it up because it's Florida, LSU.
It's okay, Georgia, Brian. Tennessee. I'm bringing you back. I'm going to make it look like you meant to do it. Georgia goes to Tennessee this week. LSU, of course, hosts Florida. So do you think both of those teams, after, a little bit a sloppy kind of win, the fans would have loved for it to have been more, do you think Georgia gets a nice gets the road win and LSU gets the home win?
No, I'm taking Tennessee. I watching Tennessee and breaking down their film, dude, these receivers, they look great. I think it was 3 or 4 years ago, they had the Hilton kid and a couple other big, tall wide receivers who are now at the next level. Well, they've got that again. Each starting receiver is about 6 foot, 6'2", and these guys can fly. I like that matchup going against this rebuilt Georgia defense, especially on the back end. And Aguilar, the way he's playing, it's been great. The former App State goes to UCLA, and then when Iamaleava goes to UCLA, Aguilar comes to Tennessee. So I like the way he's playing. Of course, their running game and their defense, man, they're flying around. This Aaron Carter, number 7 at backer, 19 Joshua. What is it? Joshua something. Hell, last name starts with a J too. Anyway, he good. And I love, I love the way those guys are flying around and playing ball. So I'm going to take Tennessee. Watching the Georgia film, I haven't seen a lot in the way of down the field. They elevated or upgraded their wide receiver room, got Zachariah Branch, some other guys, but I haven't seen them make a lot of hay down the field with the passing game, and the running game hasn't really been lighting it up either. So I'm going to take Tennessee. They've lost 8-9 straight to their rivals, the Bulldogs. At some point, as a man, you get tired of having your ass kicked. So I'm going to say Tennessee rises up.
LSU, Florida. Uh-oh. Oh, they came to get him, Catch.
Dude, that prison Wi-Fi is unreliable.
I think they came. By the way, shout out to Sandman who gave us the BJ and Azkaban. That's well done. That's well played.
Funny. What I was
and this is the best matchup. You Illusion, you there? Hello.
Sorry, we're right at the beginning of your comment. You just froze up.
I always got some. What is up with me, Chad? Ever since we've been doing this, I've always had issues. What
we need to get? You know what you need, Brian? We determined earlier you do not need a trainer because you got the hot yoga going on. We need to get you like an engineer. We need to get you.
I need one of those too, Chad. So when he's done with Brian, please send him my way.
The internet guy is coming. I am upgrading my speed considerably because apparently I had too many items in the house. I talked to someone, he's like, you have 20 something devices on your internet. Like, dang, okay. All the TVs and everything else. But anyway, hopefully we're stable. The point I was making, perfect game for Florida to tee up considering what happened last week. And what is up with all the spitting? What I do now, Catch?
I was just thinking about all your sex toys on Bluetooth taking up all of the internet. He's got 27 devices hooked up to the internet, and they can't all be the phone.
Plus, he got some kind of technology where he can make himself invisible for all the people that come over. That's got to take some Wi-Fi too.
See what happens when you get divorced at this age? You got to do what you got to do. Especially when those dating apps don't work.
Oh my God.
I got them strategically placed throughout the house.
For the record, I have not stopped smiling because we have come full circle today. This reminds me of the episode that we did about a year ago where Brian said that I look like Grossberger from Stir Crazy. And now all I've been able to think is that Brian looks like he's in the set of I keep waiting for Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor to walk behind him. But if I bring it up, he's going to be like, I'm going to have to sing some Grossberger. So
yes, you are. What was the song? Go for it.
It was like on top of a valley. Like I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was something like that.
Oh my Lord.
That was it. I love that scene. Yeah, you're right.
Oh my God.
Anyway,
okay.
Florida's gonna lose.
Okay.
But this will be a great game for them to show that they still have some fight. And the fact that Napier held this team together last year, man, when they went their last 4 ball game was amazing because everyone was waiting for the collapse that never materialized. So I think he will still have the pulse of this team, the ear of this team, and they'll come out and they'll fight versus LSU. But I love the way Blake Baker's defense is playing right now. It's great. And he's got that backhand shored up. So I give LSU the edge. They held La Tech to like 120, 130 total yards last week, whereas the offense, they mailed it in. So they better pick it up because there's some dogs on this Florida defense that can ball. 94, he looks the part. And they got some receivers, man. This Eugene Wilson III and Vernell Brown III. Those guys can fly. Vernell, right?
Vernell. We don't have enough Vernell. See, that's a bold mama. Bold mama. So my granddaddy's name was Vernell. It's good enough for him too.
That's old and country, baby. So I'm taking LSU and I'm going to take Tennessee.
Gotcha. Man, God help us all catch if LSU ever gets offense and defense at the same time. You got one more for Brian?
I think this defense is better than the 2019 defense. This offense is going to be fine. I mean, they got the receivers. I know the tight end is banged up, but I think they're going to be fine. But this defense is the best they've had in a long, long time.
Yeah.
Catch. Last question. Because I've had this a lot, so I'll circle back to the Longhorns. You think as of today they still make the playoffs?
It's funny. A good friend of mine, his 10-year-old was upset with me. And a good friend of mine who's in his 70s was upset with me because I didn't have Texas in my playoff bracket this past Tuesday on our Inside College Football show. So that just shows you the breadth of the fandom for the Longhorns. I mean, from 10 to 70 something, and I'm in trouble. As my homeboy Jack White said, your college playoff prediction sucked ass.
Notorious Longhorn hater Brian Jones.
Yes.
Right.
Legendary.
Yes. Oh, I'm gonna go down history as hating them, as the top hater of the pro. I'm like, dude, first, I don't even respond because it doesn't bother me. One, it's a fluid bracket. We'll do it every week or every other week. And Texas should be fine. Just continue playing. Right now, I don't have them in there. No.
So
Tennessee, LSU, Georgia. Go ahead.
I said, if the Georgia game's obvious, what would be the one right now that you think's because everybody's been saying Florida, but I don't think that'll be it now. So what would be the most tricky game on the schedule if it's not Florida?
No, Florida will still be tricky. Oklahoma will be tough. We know that after what Mateer did, and I wasn't surprised that he showed up and showed out versus Michigan. He jumped out off the screen at me last year versus Texas Tech. So I've been well aware of this guy's abilities. Now he's just doing it against better competition. So there's some big games left on the schedule, but we do this every week. Our predictions are fluid and they change with, if the facts change, your truth should change, right? That's a simple proposition for some of us.
Chad,
not a lot of us.
Listen to Brian doing nuance. He's all grown up.
Hey, nuance doesn't go a long way these days, unfortunately. But I'm just saying, it's a fluid situation. So don't get all worked up. My little 10-year-old nephew, don't get all worked up, Jack, over here. Just chill the fudge out. Let it play out. And hopefully our Horns will be where we want them to be. And I'm going to always have their back, but you also know I'm going to tell the damn truth.
That's it.
You tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything. So now, as of this week, no, you weren't in the playoff. I have a hard time remembering anything anyway. I'm addicted to forgetfulness.
Yeah. All I know is if they have a show on streaming somewhere called Jack and the Nephew, I want to see that show. Just them going through life. Jack and the Nephew. That's what I want to see.
Cussing me out, both.
Brian, real quick, I see that the CBS 2:30 game this week is a Big Ten classic. USC at Purdue, just like our grandfathers enjoyed. What do you think you're going to learn about the Trojans?
Well, they like these new running backs they have. They have a couple of them, Sanders, I think it's Wayman Jordan, a couple transfers. And offensive line has gotten better than last year. Defensively, they're talented and they have depth, so they won't wilt. Last year, they lost all the games where they had to travel at least 2 time zones, and that was 3 ball games that they lost. And so I think they'll play better on the road. But Purdue, Odom is trying to replicate what he did at UNLV. He had all those transfers. He has like 70, 80 transfers this year on the Purdue team. They look good. Ryan Brown, he runs those RPOs, quarterback runs. We were just mentioning, of course, Derek Maccabee, the running back. He's the beast. He is a Scatterbo light for Purdue. And he looks leaner just watching him on film. But he's a zone guy. He can run inside. So I like that aspect. I like their receivers. Their defense, I think, is still lacking somewhat. Southern Illinois was able to move the ball on them last week, and I believe LSU, why do I keep saying LSU? I think SC will be able to move the ball on them as well. This SC team is better, and you guys will remember this. When Riley was at OU, it was balanced, man. It wasn't just the passing of that offense. It was the running game as well, and they're trying to get back to that where there's a nice little mix of running and passing. I think right now, these first 2 ball games, they're a tick higher in the rush department than they are in the pass department. That's where they want to be. But Purdue will put up a fight. SC better come ready, loaded for bear, and expect a fight, because Barry Odom, this guy knows how to coach. I know his first go around, especially in Missouri, didn't go well, but he's figured something out, especially with what he did at UNLV, and I think he'll make Purdue better. He's the second coach ever to start their stint at Purdue 2-0. Can you guys name the other one?
Wow.
I mean, I'll go Joe Tiller, but I don't think that's right. I think
hell no. You got to go back to 1916. Cleo O'Donnell.
Look at you.
Cleo.
We don't have enough of those.
No, we got too many. Miss Cleo. We got Miss Cleo.
What did you say was the other one? Vernell.
I feel like
Vernell. That's another show I'd watch. I'd watch Cleo and Vernell.
Yeah,
Cleo McDowell.
We haven't had a Cleo since Cleo McDowell.
Yeah, that was just on. That was just on. Trading Places is on now.
We literally can't stop referencing Eddie Murphy movies.
No.
Hey,
you can't do it.
And you know what's funny? We were saying this the other day in the studio. He's like, our movie references are lost on these kids. I was like, yeah,
totally.
They have no clue what we're talking about.
There's no way they understood that Stir Crazy reference. They just do not know.
Yep. Our buns have no seeds. The other day, Brian, I made an Office Space reference. We made a show. We built it around an Office Space reference. Our graphics guy totally missed the reference. And I'm like, how old Am I? Good Lord. Speaking of
You
references,
do.
Brian
Yep.
Jones live from the Green Mile today. Brian, it's always great to see you. And hey,
You didn't ask me about your Aggies?
if the hot yoga doesn't work, that guy down the hall with the bugs coming out of his mouth, talk to him. Talk to him. I hear he's good.
No,
Give it to me. Give it to me quick. Notre Dame or A&M? Who wins?
Notre Dame's going to win. Had a week off, that running game, and now with a quarterback who can pass it much better than the one they had last year. And Miami will knock off USF. I saw somebody asking about that. USF is for real, though. I picked them first week to beat Boise. I was correct. That was my upset pick. And look what they did last week in the Swamp. So I think they'll come fight, but they're not sneaking up on anyone. So Miami will be ready, and Miami's much better. And Carson Beck, damn, he only missed, 2 throws last week? These quarterbacks were off the chain last week. Saying at Ohio State, perfect, or he was almost perfect, and Simpson at Alabama was perfect.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, y'all got your wish there at the end.
Michael
Clark Duncan.
Michael Clark Duncan.
Hey,
Rest in peace.
Died too soon.
Longhorn fan and former Orange Blood subscriber.
Ah, that's
no
crazy.
way.
Yeah, I sat next to him at the Alabama Rose Bowl game.
Yeah,
national championship.
Okay.
He was
Brian,
there for the
you need
long
bail
one.
money.
Brian, always
I
great
don't
to
know
see
what
you.
happened.
We look forward to whatever you're going to look like next week. Hey, look at he's going to disappear. There he is.
A pirate ship.
He'll disappear before I take him away. Good grief. Brian Jones from CBS Sports. And again, check out the University Co-op for the great gear you see Brian wearing sometimes. You could have seen it today, but probably not. Real Snow Milk at University Coop. Do that search. And
Wait,
get it.
that sounds like a Pornhub channel.
A little Real Snow Milk? Yeah, that's a whole nother discussion. Let's hear from Lisa and Spec.
Texans know for selection and lower prices, it all starts at Specs.
Shop Specs!
With all your favorites on tap, you'll bring home the win. Boots on, drinks up. The fun starts here.
Shop Specs!
All right. Also, before we get out of here, I want to thank James for throwing this one in. Headed to Driftwood today. Can't stop and try that blackened pork chop, but I will be trying it soon, Chad. James, I appreciate you mentioning a little Hayes City store. The pork chop is incredible. So is the chicken fried steak. There is the home. Actually, that's the queso. We went straight up queso last time. You see the girls already digging in. They couldn't even wait for me to take the damn picture. That's how good that queso is. And the chips and salsa. You got the chicken fried steak on the right. The mac and cheese is out of this world. And the cream gravy will make you want to smack somebody. In the middle, you see a shot of that great new ice house that they've built in the last couple of years. It's a great time out there. Head on out to Driftwood. Tell them we sent you here at Orange Bloods Live. Hayes City Store. All right, Mr. Ketchum, we got like a minute. You got anything else?
Nope.
All right. Thank y'all for liking, subscribing, and getting the notifications. We're headed towards 150,000 subscribers on the YouTube page. Thank y'all for helping us get there. Go subscribe if you haven't. Check out the page. Check out videos and shorts and all that. A lot of great content for you. And join Orange Bloods today with the QR code up at the upper left. Yes, Ketch.
Apologies for my bare ass shelves. I told Michelle earlier today, because we had a little meeting, that I would get it done between 11:30 and 12.
Didn't happen. Apologies for Ketch's shelves. Apologies for me only having 31 matchups behind me, NFL and college combined. That's my bad. Y'all have a good one. This is Orange Blood.